Still setting it up. Okay, it's not exactly live yet. Setting up your Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk to you this evening. We got a special guest on a new maiden voyage of a thing that we're going to try tonight, and it's going to be called City Town Talk. Wait a minute. City Town Talk. Okay, good evening, everyone within the sound of my voice. Tonight, I'm about to embark on the maiden voyage of City Town Talk. I will try to do teleconferencing with people in our community that has something positive to share with our community. This will not go without hiccups, as this is my first time, so be patient. Sit back and listen to my first guest. He's not a stranger to many, and his name is James Logan, and he's the Assistant City Manager of Coatesville. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce you to him, now I'm going to look up from my papers so I can be a little bit more relaxed. It's important for we as a community to get information from the sport, firsthand information. We can understand the true facts that we can kind of like govern our lives accordingly. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce him to you. And if you have any kind of questions or comments, feel free to jump in, type in your comments, say hi to Mr. James and everything. This is the first time. So, all of you who are on board tonight, y'all so lucky. And this is going to be nice. I'm excited. So, with that, I want to introduce you to our Coatesville's Assistant City Manager, Mr. James Logan. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Fonz. How are you doing this evening?
So far, so good, man. I'm pretty excited about having you as our initial guest. I know it's going to be downhill from there because you're going to be a tough act to follow. So, with that being said, do what only you can do, man.
Well, I appreciate you giving me this time. And Fonz, you have been a tremendous asset in our community to make these things happen and to get the word out. And before I really get started here, I just want to just say to all of those in the city of Coatesville, friends, family, neighbors, workers, our heart goes out to a number of you that have lost loved ones. I've been hearing some incredible stories about, loved ones that have passed due to this virus, whether they are frontliners or first responders in our hospitals, police and fire departments, or just our friends and neighbors and loved ones. My heart goes out to you, the city of Coatesville. Heart goes out to everyone, and you will always be in our prayers during this pandemic. So I just wanted to say that first. I also want to thank all of those heroes that are behind the scenes. Those are the individuals that it's really interesting how they become the heroes, and oftentimes we would overlook them. And I'm talking about those individuals that you see either in the grocery stores, or we go down to the pizza shop right off Lincoln and pick up a slice of pizza. It's interesting how we sometimes don't look at those individuals as essential people in our society, but they are sure enough essential today because we are relying on them to keep us healthy, to keep us alive, and to keep us mobile. And I just want to give a big shout out to those individuals that are on that front line, helping us out throughout this county and throughout this country. So with that being said, on behalf of the city council members, city manager, I just welcome you all. I'm very happy and blessed to be able to bring this message to you this evening. And really what I like to do is just kind of talk about a few things that I've been putting out in the public recently, and since this pandemic has hit the country. And that message is how real things are. A lot of times people, they've been tracking what's going on throughout the country and even in our county, and they're seeing the numbers creep up, and these numbers they're at a staggering rate right now. I'm looking at the recent board that the county has out. We have 3,076 negative cases and 541 cases right now that are positive. That's just in Chester County. The city of Coatesville, many of you already know, we have 3 cases here in a population of 13,114. That seems small, But the 3 cases that you may hear about or may be on this board right now, those are just cases that have been, kind of tested. We have not started the testing right now in the city of Coatesville. And to be quite frank with you, my fear is that once we start testing, those numbers are going to skyrocket. And I'm not trying to put any fear out to anyone, but that's the reality. There are a number of us that are out there, probably positive, including myself, and we don't know it yet. We won't know it until we get tested. And it's something that is very important. And this is something that has always been an issue in the Black community. Should we get tested or shouldn't we get tested? If I get tested, now that's going to enable me to go to work. All of that is true, and the realities are there. But what's important here is, folks, is that, we have to flatten this curve. And if it means getting tested, that's what we have to do. If it means staying inside, that's what we have to do. I drive up and down when I come to work in the morning. I see a lot of people hanging out on the street still. And then, 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock, I roll back through town, and it's still a lot of people hanging out. And this is not how we're going to flatten this curve. We have got to be vigilant about staying inside, about taking care of our family members. And for those individuals who are hanging out in large groups, you have to stop it. I mean, because you are putting your family in jeopardy. I mean, you may be, hanging out with your boys or hanging out with your girls and you want to have a good time. I get that. But you are jeopardizing. When you leave your friends and you walk into your house, you don't know what you're bringing into the house. And that's something that you should think about. Don't jeopardize your fun or your half an hour with everyone as you're out there hugging it up or just standing 2 or 3 feet from each other. Don't jeopardize that particular time with your family. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. And this is something that we've been trying to get out week after week after week. On the 30 bypass, there's a big sign there that says stay in, support your local curbside service. I know it's hard to do it. I know you got to get out and get some, fresh air from time to time, but do it using social distancing. And that's really important. And Fonz, you and I have been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Well, I hope so, because it's from the city standpoint, the last thing we want our citizens to get sick. I mean, we have a large senior population that we care about dearly. We have a youth that's our future that we care about dearly. We want everyone to be healthy, and our city council members are working hard with the county commissioners. They're on the phone, some more than others, but they're on the phone with the commissioners, and they're really trying to send this message to people that staying in place is what the governor has mandated, and that's very important. And the days that you need to go out and do your grocery shopping, go out and do it, and get back in. Do 2 weeks of shopping if you have to. But the important thing is to remember the 5 things that I kind of posted last week. That's everything from staying in place, sanitizing or disinfecting your home, washing your hands frequently, practice your social distancing, and just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. In terms of the city itself, and I've been getting a lot of calls about what's going on in the city. Are we going to have test sites and things like that? Yes, we will. And the county commissioners are working very hard to make that happen. But keep in mind, we are a very large county, and there's a lot of other municipalities, a lot of townships that are in line. They are working very hard, 24/7, to make this testing site, so this strategic plan that they're going to roll out, make it effective and easy for people to get. We are asking people to, when you go outside, to use masks, whether you are just going 2 blocks away or you're getting in your car to drive across town. You need to mask up. And when you come in contact in the general public in a grocery store or at a Starbucks or wherever you guys are going, use your mask. Young people, you can make masks. You can go on YouTube. There's some great, kind of YouTube lessons on how to make masks. You can personalize those masks, make it fun. And it's just something that we have to do during this time. And it's a different world, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't want to see any of you guys leave this world, because we have a lot of great things going on in the city. We got, everything from our Unity Day, which may be postponed, but we have Unity Day, we have concerts coming up, we have outdoor fitness centers that we have planned. We have great construction work that's going on in the city. We have a lot of great projects going on, and we want everyone to be around to see those projects happen. And I'm just excited about it. But I want to see you guys there. So stay inside and help me, get this message out. I want to before it happens in Coatesville, because it will, but before it happens, let's put a dent in this right now. Let's change the trajectory of where this can go. We have 3 cases right now. Those are 3 people that got tested. So, let's just keep our fingers crossed. It doesn't get crazy here, but the reality is there's a probability. And one of the things that we have to do to kind of stop that probability, or, avoid that probability, is to stay in place, to mask up, to wash our hands, and to take care of each other. One of the things, I got a call last week from someone that said, well, my granddaughter is coming into town and I want to see her. And do you think it would be okay? And I had to be honest with the resident. I said, no, it's not okay. Maybe you can go visit her and be, 6 feet or more away from her. But I do not recommend you jeopardizing that young life, because, you may have the virus. And FaceTime, and everyone knows this, and Zoom, they have become kind of our social connection right now. And actually, I kind of like it. I got a big family in California that I would love to go see, but we've been Zooming every night. And one of the things that we are trying to do is trying to make this a habit. Just kind of check in with one another. And we got some creative people out there that can do some great things. So I hope it's something that you all consider, and just really try to work at making this message clear to everyone. We have to stay in place, and we got to take care of each other here. As I mentioned, a couple of things going on in the city in terms of events and projects of development we're excited about. Another thing I want to just kind of talk briefly about are some of the questions that I've been getting in reference to. I'm going to pull this up here, in reference to why sometimes people see families picking up food. Well, if you didn't know, the Chester County, I should say the Coatesville Area School District, has a lunch program, and they've had this lunch program for many years. And interim superintendent Dr. Rich Dunlap, he has pledged to keep this going for those families that need food. There's a number of pickups throughout the city of Coatesville. You can go on to the Coatesville Area School District and find out that information where those pickups are. But that's just one particular program that continues to feed people, which is very important here. We have the seniors that we're trying to take care of, and Bill Pierce over at the Senior Center is doing some great things. And speaking of that, just real quick, a number of you were sending out Facebooks about, you saw some military trucks in town, and I saw a few people kind of panicking about that. Well, those were not military trucks to implement or to instate any martial law. They were just here to deliver food. So please don't panic if you happen to see those trucks roll back into town. They're part of the National Guard's food delivery service. We're very happy to see them come into town and help the many nonprofit organizations here in the city, but it's nothing to be alarmed about. We're trying our best to feed those in the community that need to be fed. And it's important. As I said, we have a large senior population that need our assistance. And even some of you, I've heard that you guys are going out delivering food. And I think that's a wonderful thing and that's a blessing. But just remember, keep yourself safe when you're doing that, keep your distance when you're doing that, and mask up when you're doing that as well. Another thing I just wanted to share with everyone, and this is the big elephant in the room. If you didn't see, a couple of nights ago, Magic Johnson was on CNN, and one of the things that he talked about was why Blacks or why Black communities are infected the most by the COVID virus. And there's some very interesting statistics. If you look up, you can go onto a ABC News website, and Fonz, I just clicked the page and I sent it to you. If you want to send that out to everyone, please feel free to do so. But there's a study on the ABC News website, and it talks about the number of Black people that get infected by the COVID virus. And there was just like all the time, there's always this myth that Black people can't get the virus. It's a white man's disease. It's the same way as Magic Johnson said, it was the same thought that people have for HIV. Well, we all know what happened with HIV. And the same type of denial is happening with COVID. There's a lot of African Americans that don't think they'll be affected by this or infected by this. And it's not true. We are actually dying at a higher rate than any other ethnic group right now. We're at about 53%. And that's throughout the country. So the numbers are real, ladies and gentlemen. And we have a very densely populated area in Coatesville where, if one person gets it, it can spread like wildfire because we are so packed in. So let's keep that in mind. When you guys are out just kind of, going by each other, keep that number in mind. And I'm not the expert on this. This is all, on the website, the CDD, I got all these acronyms, CDC's website. So you can go on there and take a look for yourself. I mean, this is something that is very important. And for the young people, the numbers are coming in just as high. Young people between the ages of 19 and 25, they are lining up in the hospitals. It's tragic because they're such young people. And it's because that they're not practicing social distancing. And it's something that, we continue to try to tell people what to do. But, people have a mind of their own. Our police department's working very hard. They're putting out some positive messages on their website. Many of you know Sergeant Ollis, Officer Cooper, and they're all doing their best. But you guys got to help us out. When you see a group of people together, just say break it up. Just say break it up, and or distance yourself. And we closed the parks, but we still got people in the parks. We've shut down some areas where people used to kind of hang out a little bit more. But again, people still go back, and maybe it's just out of habit, but this is not the time to do things that you used to do. When all of this is said and done, the rims are going to go back up for all you horseshoe lovers out there. And I know some of you may be watching. You'll be able to get back out there at Ash Park and, throw those horseshoes. Tennis players, the runners. We just got a lot of things that we have planned, and we want you guys to get back out there. But before you do that, we want you to stay healthy and be well. The other thing I want to talk about real briefly is the, let me just look here. The plans for, as I mentioned, test sites. When we hear about it, certainly, Fonz and I will connect you, and then we'll put it on our website, and we will hear about it soon. As I said earlier, the commissioners are doing a great job, with that strategic plan they're going to roll out, and we're going to be very excited about hearing where you can get tested and some of the kits that's going to be available for you to get tested. The other thing I just want to mention real quickly is, how you can help others. There's a number of nonprofits in the community that are always looking for volunteers. We want you to be healthy before you volunteer for anything in the city. But there's on our website, the Coatesville.org, that's our city website. You can go, there's a directory for a number of nonprofits in the city that you can go and find out if they need any volunteers to help them. In addition to our website, on the landing page, there is a data and map of the number of cases that are being tracked throughout the county. So if you're interested in that, I would say, again, go to our website. That's Coatesville, www.coatesville.org, and look at that map. There are cases right next to us, ladies and gentlemen, that are, basically, let me pull one up right now just to give you the latest figures right now. I mentioned that we have 3 in Coatesville. Let's see here. I'm going to take too long. I got a slow computer. Like you, Fonz.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Hey, while you're looking at it, let me just interject something while you're looking for that. And many of you in the community may not realize it, but James, Logan, city council members, all of them, every time I try to mention their names, I always forget one, then I wind up feeling bad. So I want to say city council as a whole, and the administrative offices and the people in the administrative office, they are really working hard to make our city an enjoyable city and a safe city. Whenever I team up and talk with Brother Logan here, it's always about the benefit of the citizens in the community. Never is it any talk about self-aggrandizement or self-serving type of conversation. It's always about how he and we can make Coatesville a better place. And so we've always wanted people like this in authority, or let me say, serving our community. We've been looking for people like this all our lives, and we finally got it. And it is my hope that we will cling on to them. I mean, it's okay to critique sometimes, but it's a lot more better to try and join forces and together work and figure out how we can make this a better place to live, and then go do it. Our adults, as we talk about this COVID thing, it's incumbent upon you to use all the force and authority that you have as a parent to guide your children in the right way so they can live and enjoy a fruitful life. Because this 19 is no joke. Rona is no joke. So I know you're going to look like the bad guy, and I know you want to be your kids' friends and your kids' homies, but that's not what we're called to be when we become a parent. We are called to be a parent, and you have to guide them up, and keep them safe. And that's all I got. But I'm gonna have a couple more questions, but go ahead, James. Back at you.
No, I was just going to say, I'm looking at some of the numbers here. And just folks, real quick, as I said, you can go on our website. The map is there. I'll just give you an idea of what's happening in our community and surrounding area. We have Callan Township. There's 10 cases there. We have the city of Coatesville. I mentioned we have 3. Downeytown has 5. East Callan has 2 cases right now. East Fallowfield has 5 cases, and unfortunately, there's 1 death right now. Just kind of going down, we have, let's see, West Bradford, West Brandywine, West Callan, West Fallowfield. There's 1 case. We have in Valley. Did I say Valley earlier? In Valley, we have 2 cases, and unfortunately, we have 1 death there. So, so the numbers are creeping up. As I said, we live in a very dense population, and we're surrounded, ladies and gentlemen, we are surrounded by positive cases. So just remember that. Just remember that it's very important that we stay in place. And I'm looking at someone just texted me. They said, "Well, James, why are you smiling sometimes?" Well, I have to tell you that the reason why I smile is because, even though this is a very serious virus, I'm a pretty optimistic person. So I smile because I know that what I'm saying is getting across to you guys. I know that we're going to come, through this. I know that we're going to get on the other side, and we are going to be hanging out together. And I'm smiling because I always think about, the conversations that I have with people. And even though, this is a very serious situation that we're in and that we're dealing with, I have to smile because I know that I'm blessed. I know that I'm protected. I know that you guys are rooting for the city, that you're rooting for each other, and that brings a smile to me. So I'm not going to do the doom and gloom all the time because I don't think mentally it's good for us. I have to smile because I do believe that we're going to come out of this, and I do believe that I'm going to see a lot of you, and hopefully you guys will speak to me next time I see you, and just embrace each other and embrace the energy that we have and that we can do and make a difference. And as I said I put in an email message this week, don't let this virus change your life, just change your behavior. And that's the message. That's the big message, don't let it change your life, just change your behavior. And I know there's a lot of ministers out there that might be listening to the Ministry Alliance and to all the ministers. Please pray for the city of Coatesville. Pray for our commissioners. Pray for our leaders on the front line and those behind the scenes. I have a daughter that's working at Wawa right now, and I pray for her every night. She probably doesn't like me because I spray her down every night too with Lysol. But it's what we do now. It's what we do. And I just those are the things that bring me joy, just knowing that I can provide a little protection for my family. And I know you guys feel the same way. We're going to get out in that Palmer Park one day, in the Ash Park, Patton Park. I know James Bookman is listening in. I got a little one-on-one contest I'm going to be scheduling with him and Jules. And anyone else that wants to come out, Brandon, you too. So we're going to do this, and we're going to pull through this, ladies and gentlemen. And I just hope you guys, again, support what we're doing. Heed the warning. It's very real. We need you guys to stay in place. And in the city, we'll be making some changes to help you all stay in place in the coming days. And we just want you to support whatever changes that we're trying to do to flatten this curve. And just keep in mind that we're doing it for you. Fonz, I'm going to kick it back over to you. Fonz has a picture of himself I'm looking at. He's kind of has his
How's everybody doing out there? Hey, look, I'm telling you, hey, James, that's been a great half hour, man. I really appreciate you coming on, man, and just sharing some of the things. I really like what you said about the National Guard, because little rumors like that in a small town can blow up to where it can become out of control. And right. It's reasons like this why we need people such as yourself to come, if not live on the stair steps, which we don't have to do anymore. We can do it just like this, but to come and talk and reach out to the community that you guys serve. James won't be the last person. I will be reaching out to the city commissioners and everybody else to Zoom a conference in, so they have the opportunity to speak to us personally. Now, before I sign off, I want y'all to reach out to Connie Dutton, Pastor Connie Dutton. She's having some type of prayer walk or a prayer chain tomorrow, I believe at 3 o'clock. And I also believe it's at Walgreens. Now, I didn't save the information. I know it's on Facebook somewhere. So don't take my word for the place and the time, but reach out to her and make sure you get it from the horse's mouth. Let me see. Hey, James, let me ask you, any information in regards to unemployment compensation and things like that people may be suffering from here in Coatesville?
Yeah, well, I just heard on the news that unemployment checks or a lot of them have been mailed out. We know that we are at record numbers right now in terms of unemployment in the country. I think the number is up to over maybe 15 million right now that have filed claims. Folks are waiting for those checks to be into their accounts. And we're learning, and I don't know anyone in the city of Coatesville, but we are learning that those checks are being delivered. So they should be in the mail within a week or two. On the other side, for the small businesses in the city of Coatesville, if you go to the Chester County Economic Development Council's website, There are SBA loans available for small businesses. There's relief funds that are available for small businesses. The county is really trying to do its best to accommodate those businesses, to keep them operational, because we know this is a very difficult time. For those families in need of food, again, reach out to some of your local pantries. I know the food bank is still delivering food. And before you go there, as I said, wear your mask, glove up, to protect yourself, stand 6 feet apart. But if you need to get out there and get your food, do so, but just do it in a very protective manner. There's a lot of great programs throughout the county that are going on to assist businesses and the unemployed. Again, go to the Chester County Economic Development website, go to your local Chamber of Commerce websites, and the Brandywine Health Foundation website. They have some very good information to support a number of our nonprofit organizations as well.
All right, look, thank you, James, once again. And look, I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in this evening. If you think this is a good idea, in the comment section, just let me know that you would like to see more of this, and I will try to do what I can to continuously keep people coming aboard to address our community at large. So I usually say, I'm gonna just sign off, and I want to let everybody know, man, that Coatesville is rising, and we all matter. Peace out.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night. That's it.
All right, Fonz. Thank you.